What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to start. I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he started talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Hit me up in my DMs, and I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Well, hello. How are we today? It is yet another week. Today is a Monday. I was supposed to try to give y'all a manic Monday. My day got away from me. Work was doing a whole lot, and I just couldn't pull myself away. So I had to do a run your mouth, because run your mouth is much easier to produce than Silly Saturday. So I apologize, but my goal is to give y'all one maybe next week, or maybe if I have some time during the week, I will. Well, we'll see. I ain't gonna make no promises. Anyway, let me say hey to y'all, and then we'll get down with the get down with the get down. Let me say hey to you all, my lovely, wonderful pupils. Hey, Catherine Powell, Tanya. Hey, Tanya Boo, Miss Kiki, lovely 31 Blueprint, Universal Goddess, Cams. Hey, Cams. Hey, Boo. We need to talk, Cams. I'm gonna call you. Hey, Gabby, Diamond Pearl Gem. What's going on? Harold. Harold. Hey. Harold. Here's my problem, Harold. Hey, Janae, our medical expert. Harold, what you cannot do is change your goddamn avatar like it's a pay, like every time you get a paycheck, you get a new avatar. We need to know, we need you to stick with one avatar. so we can verify and validate that it's the real Cams and not an imposter. But we can't do that. Not Cams, Harold. Harold, we need you to keep the same avatar so we can validate that it's Harold and not an imposter. It's a whole lot of trolls and imposters out there, Harold, and we need to verify and validate that it's you. Lord. Can't be changing on us every day, every week. Montrez, what's good, bro? What's going on? Tracy W, what is up? What is up? So y'all listen. It's been a long day. I mean, you gonna keep this one for how long, Harold? How long are you gonna keep this one? God. Lord. Anyway, Nessa, what's going on, Nessa? So listen, crazy homebody girl, what's going on? Listen. Well, you know I'm gonna talk about that, Catherine. So we got a lot to talk about. It's a lot of politics. I started a little bit earlier today so I can get all my pleasantries out the way, say hi to y'all, give y'all an update on me and how I'm doing with all my traveling. And then we can get down to the get downs. Yeah, just a busy day. Just a busy day. Nessa, did you go to that thing they had for Jamaican independence down there? Did you go to that? I heard it was real nice this week, and they had something for Jamaican Independence Day or something like that. I saw pictures and stuff. It was real nice. Hey, Simera. Hey, crazy homebody girl. I don't think I said hey to you. I need to put my picture on mine so y'all can see all this gorgeousness. I know that's right, Tracy. I know that's right. Yeah. So we can see all that gorgeousness. My ghetto alley ass family. I got a first cousin named Gorgeous. That's her name, Gorgeous. And child, I heard it was real good. Nessa, y'all got a first cousin named Gorgeous. Yeah, me and her mama. Her mom is my youngest aunt, and we grew up in the same household. So my youngest aunt had her when she was in high school. So I remember her as a baby, and I remember I didn't want no other kids in the house. And every time a new child would come into my grandmother's house, I would do horrible things to take them out. You just, conveniently leave them there screaming and crying. Act like you don't hear them. Maybe take a pillow and put it over their head, try and see if you could take them out. Because that was competition. We had enough mouths to feed. Maybe we didn't need another mouth to feed. Anyway, she loves me to this day. Maybe. Hey, Sharisa, what's going on? What is going on? Let me get to the news of the day before I incriminate myself anymore. God. Anyway, if you're ready to get this party started, put a shondo in the chat. Let's make it do what it do. Girl, let's make it do what it do. Ciao. All right. So let's start with our politics. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender conforming members of our audience, it's time for your Sugar Spike segment.
You see, this is the part that I like. Major Sugar Spike.
So love the world. I want to fight. That he gave. His only begotten son.
Major Sugar Spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major Sugar Spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. You know what I love about that video? I love what the guy said at the end. I wish somebody help me. I love when he says that at the end. Anyway, let's get our updates on the presidential race. Let's do our updates right now. Mm, mm, mm. So I'm gonna start with some news that is a little disturbing in the climate that we have right now. In this country, very polarized climate, a very divided uh electorate. There's, we are saturated and engorged with divisive comments and commentary all over the place. Hey, Pinky Tiki. Hey, Jim Bunny. Hey, Marla Morris. So, a Virginia man has been arrested and is facing charges after he made online threats to end the life, to kill Vice President Kamala Harris. And he also made additional threats to other public officials. Frank Lucio Carrillo is his name, and he was arrested on Friday after a search of his account on an alternative social media platform called GETTR, where he made those threats toward the sitting vice president. Law enforcement, did a search, saw it, and they apprehended him. And they also found a series of other violent threats, not only against the vice president. He made several against the vice president, but against other public officials, including President Biden, FBI, and FBI Director Christopher Wray. In one of his posts, he said, quote, Kamala Harris needs to be put on fire alive Kamala Harris needs to be put on fire alive. I will do it personally if no one else does it. I want her to suffer I want her to suffer a slow, agonizing death. End of quote. And that's what he wrote on that social media platform. The FBI became aware of his account after the Maricopa County, and that's in Arizona, after their recorder's office notified the agency about potential threats made against Maricopa County recorder Stephen Richer. And he gained a lot of prominence for pushing back against false claims of election fraud. He was the person when people were saying there was election fraud in Arizona. He made he got really, really big. His name was in a lot of circles because he was as one of the officials charged with certifying the elections. He was on record saying we have no problems here in Arizona. Anyway, the Carrillo guy, he's supposed to have his initial hearing today. I'm sure that has already happened. I don't have any updates right now, but if anything shakes down, I'll keep you posted. What my point in bringing this up is, I know this is not the only one that you'll see out there. These people are certifiable. Do you hear me? Certifiable. I'm sure most of you all saw the viral video this weekend from with the black man being told that they have a tree in the back of his yard to lynch him with over in Nevada. It was in Virginia City, Nevada, and there just basically seemed to be a whole town filled with racist white people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, ready and willing to do whatever. And many people were alarmed at the at how brash and how deliberate and intentional and matter of fact these white people were with their racism. I was more surprised that the black man seemed surprised that there were racist ass white people and whole cities of racist white people. That was surprising to me. I'm not going to show that video because the video is triggering. It's very triggering. And so I didn't want to show the video. I got enough videos today that will be triggering. I didn't need to show that one because it triggered me. It incensed me. It made me mad. It gave me the feel. It gave me the feeling that I had. You know, you go and you watch certain movies in the movie theater, and when you leave that movie, you're like, I can't see no white people right now because something may happen if I see a white person right now. That's what I felt like after watching that video, and I didn't want to trigger anybody and make them feel that way. But the point that I'm making is this: there's enough of these nut jobs all across the fruited plains. I'm sure they need a whole task force by itself just to seek out and search out and vet out all of the threats that are being made against the vice president right now. I'm just saying. Hey, Miss Cookie Ray, what's going on? Hey, Jason, what's good, bro? I mean, these racist ass white people descended from the Caucasus Mountains with their mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy. Um, they are who they are. So I am not in the least bit surprised that you got whack jobs all over the place, threatening the life of the vice president. In more news from the campaign trail, over the course of the weekend, the vice president did pretty much secure the actual nomination they had. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I talked about the fact that there will be a virtual tally of the delegates that the Democratic Party was going to do. And they had that virtual count of the voting delegates that happened, and the vice president did secure enough of those pledged delegates to secure the nomination. So that happened over the weekend. Also, the big news today is the fact that she has selected her vice president. Now, it's not public. It is not public yet. I'm sure in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's probably going to be public as I'm speaking. However, my sources say she's already selected. From what I understand, the selection was made last night. The individual was informed last night, and that's what my sources are telling me. And that announcement will be officially made in the morning. Hey, Tamara, Nichelle. Hey, Therese. Hey, Powerful. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, so Jeff. So yeah, the candidate. Yes, Cam. My sources say the candidate has already accepted the position. Has already accepted the position. Hey, TJ, what's going on? Hey, David. So now, hey, Tawana. Hey, everybody coming in. Now, even though, hey, Really B, thank you for sending your people over. Even though it's not officially out right now, all of my sources are saying it was really down to two people. It's not Bashir. I wish it was Bashir, but it's basically two people right now. It's either going to be Tim Walz or Josh Shapiro. Now, if it's not one of them, hey, Ray all day. Hey, everybody. Now, I told y'all last week before, we talked about all of the potential candidates. We talked about who they were. You kept hearing news sources say that three people went down to the Naval Observatory to talk to her and interview with her over the weekend. You were hearing Shapiro, Josh Shapiro, Governor Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, and Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona. However, I am told there were other people that were there as well. I also know she also met with Pete Buttigieg on Friday, and they had a 90-minute sit down on Friday. But from what I understand, the selection was made last night. The individual has accepted the nomination for VP, and you should hear that in the morning. I'm sure it will leak tonight. Um, I am 1,000% sure it will leak tonight, but it's Tim Walz or it's either Governor Tim Walz or Governor uh, uh, Josh Shapiro. Now, there's pros and cons to both. I think she's going to acquiesce to uh, pressure to choose Josh Shapiro. If it's going to be between, y'all know my front runner was Andy Bashir. I wanted her to choose Andy Bashir. We went through that, but since that's not an option at this point, and we got to go with one of these two. Let me tell you why one of these two should be it. Either Tim Walsh or Josh Shapiro. Pros and cons for both. Let's go with Josh Shapiro, who they say, if you ask anybody, they'll tell you it's him. Hey, Lauren Bishop. Josh Shapiro here's the pros of Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro will secure Pennsylvania. Josh Shapiro, try saying that like 5 times fast because you got the SH at the end of Josh and the SH at the beginning of Shapiro. God. Shapiro, I'm just gonna say Shapiro. The pros about Shapiro is he helps win Pennsylvania. He won overwhelmingly in Pennsylvania, which means he could win in the rural areas. And because if you know Pennsylvania, there's blue in the Philadelphia area, there's blue in the Pittsburgh area, there's blue in the Erie, Pennsylvania area as well, and most of the rest of the state is red as you can get. But he successfully has been able to woo over large segments of the population that are red. So that's the pros of Josh Shapiro. Some of the cons of Josh Shapiro are he's Jewish, and you could possibly lose some of the support you've gained from the young vote and from people who have problems with how the Democratic Party and Joseph Robinette Biden handled the Israel-Hamas situation, because Josh Shapiro will be looked at as somebody who doesn't bode well if you are not for the genocide of innocent people over in Israel. So that will be looked at by a lot of people as her wanting to go down the same road as President Biden. Pro about Josh Shapiro is people see him as more center than closer to the center than Kamala Harris, even though that is a myth. Kamala Harris is not a raging liberal progressive. She's not. She's much more closer to the center than progressives like myself or those in the squad. I'm not sure about that. The informed. I'm not sure if he was an IDF soldier. That I'm not sure of at all. But he is young. And so that shouldn't be a problem. Another thing that if she picks him that will come out is he has a lot of baggage in there's a case coming out of Pennsylvania where a member of his staff was accused of sexual assault, and he knew about it and kept that person on staff, praised that person and so forth, and did not let the person go until the victim ended up filing a lawsuit, and then that's when he finally let the person go. But sources say that he knowingly allowed that person to stay on staff, praised them, publicly and everything. And then when the victim filed a lawsuit, that's when he finally let the person go. So that's a little bit of baggage. He didn't do it, so he could probably get beyond that. Hey, Monk Chip, what's going on, boo? I ain't seen you in a few weeks. I hope you ain't busy. And also, I know you over there in South Carolina. You stay safe, Monk Chop. I'm going to talk about the hurricane, the tropical storm a little later. But make sure you know you got your sandbags and you and your people is good over there. I'll text you and stuff like that periodically to make sure you good. But it's good to see you because I ain't seen you in a few days. So that's Josh Shapiro. Now, if you're gonna ask me who I think she should choose, if we're going with those two, I say choose Tim Walz. Now, here's the pros of Tim Walz. Tim Walz is a great politician. Tim Walz, hey, cross country cruiser, has no baggage. Hey, Xavier. Hey, Shay. Tim Walz has no baggage. Tim Walz is a former teacher who rose up the ranks in Minnesota and became governor of the great state of Minnesota. Cons against Tim Walz is Tim Walz is older. He's not old. He's certainly not up there with Donald John. Let me get you the exact age of Tim Walz. Tim Walz is 60 years old. He's only 60. Now he look older than 60, but he's only 60. Kamala Harris is 59. So they're virtually the same age. She's either 59 or maybe she just turned 60. I forgot. She's 59 or 60, but they're virtually the same age. So that's a pro. A con is people see Tim Walz as being more progressive than Kamala. Well, not more progressive, but they see him as being progressive as well. Much farther left leaning. And if you ask me, he is farther left leaning than Kamala. People see Kamala as way far left leaning. She's not. She's much more moderate. But Tim Walz is farther left leaning than Kamala. But believe it or not, even with his progressive stances and progressive ideas, he also was able to woo over not just moderates, but people who are staunchly red in his own state. He was able to woo many of them over. So that's a pro. Some of the cons that people have is they don't see Minnesota as a swing state because Minnesota has been blue for many, many, many years. I think you have to go back to the 70s before Minnesota was did not go blue. So that those are pros and cons. I am full-throated. If we're going between the two, I'm full-throated Tim Walz. I'm full-throated Tim Walz. Now, it all depends on who you can stand to lose. If you pick Josh Shapiro, you could stand to lose the youth vote and a large swath of the Democratic Party that has a problem with what's going on over there in Israel. If you choose Tim Walz, you could stand to lose maybe some of those independents or those people who are more centrist and would see Tim Walz as you going too far left for centrists. So right, he's not a progressive in the classical sense, but but in terms of how people will look at him, he will be looked at as like he's a progressive. He certainly will. Right, he absolutely still can walk the walk and talk the talk of white people. You know what I'm saying? He is descended from the Caucasus Mountains, so he could go over there and speak their language. And he certainly has the ability and know-how and experience, track record to woo over those voters that are in red areas. Can he get shit done? Yes, he can. Now that's Cam's governor. So yeah, so those are the two picks. I'd be very surprised if she did not choose Shapiro. She'll acquiesce to Shapiro. Well, you know, Tim Walz is a former teacher. Tim Walz is a former teacher, educator. So he comes from education. So he's always going to be a huge supporter of teachers and students as a former educator. Now, I think she'll acquiesce to not just um, the popular vote, because Josh Shapiro is the popular pick. If this was a popularity contest, it will go to Josh Shapiro. I also don't. I also think she's married to a whole Jewish man. I don't. I could see her saying, "I don't want to fully piss off the Jewish faction of the Democratic base, and those people who that may not be Jewish but staunchly support Jew Israel and everything they're doing over there." So I could really, and for all of those reasons, and because they see Pennsylvania more of a swing state than Minnesota, I think she'll pick Shapiro. I could see them picking Shapiro. Now, there's one more factor. There's and y'all gonna say that's really not a factor, L Teddy. I'm going to tell you, people are vain like this, and it's a factor. Josh Shapiro passes. Now, this is real vain. Passes the looks test. You put Josh Shapiro against and side by side against Tim Walz. Josh Shapiro looks younger and maybe more appealing, aesthetically appealing. Y'all probably looking at me like, L Teddy, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm going to tell you, there are there's data behind the science of all of this. There's data behind the science that says you could not run for president and be bald, because the last bald president was Richard Nixon, and you see how that ended. So America is a vain country. We are very vain, and some people are going to base what they do based on, they want to see what the look is. They want a look. And unfortunately, Tim Walz looks like an old white man. Josh Shapiro looks like a young white man, a young, handsome white man. I'm just telling you how it is. Unfortunately, that factors in. Now we need something to look at, L Sid. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I ain't lying. What's going on, L Sid? So if I'm a betting man, I would probably venture to tell you, even though the campaign is on record saying, just because you'll see the presidential candidate and vice presidential candidate together for the first time in Philadelphia tomorrow. They said do not put any stock into that, meaning it's going to be Josh Shapiro, but I'm thinking it's going to be Josh Shapiro. Tim Walz looks like a school teacher. Well, he is a former teacher. Remember tomato Quayle? Well, Dan Quayle, dear God, I remember Dan Quayle. I agree. Walsh and I are almost the same age. Now I'm looking in the mirror. Do I look that old? Listen, Tim Walz looks like he's about a good 78. He looks Donald Trump's age, and Tim Walz is 60, born in 1964. So I'm gonna need to come up with a set of rules that can be applied before someone is called handsome. Now, Josh Shapiro ain't handsome to me either, Xavier. Let's just be clear. However, when you compare him to Tim Walz, I mean, side by side, Josh Shapiro looks better than Tim Walz. Now, I told you who I'd like for her to pick. Out of the two, I'd love for her to pick Tim Walz. But if I'm a betting man, if I'm putting my money down, you say Josh got that good Botox, I'm not doing this with you, L. Sid. Oh. Anyway, yeah. So that's my money. Says that she'll probably pick Shapiro. If she chooses Tim Walz, That's going to be very telling to me. I will be screaming and I will be saying a lot of good shit on this platform if she chooses Tim Walz. If she chooses Tim Walz, I gotta, because that will mean finally the Democratic Party is understanding that their base is moving more toward the left and not toward the goddamn center. Yeah, Walsh was born in 1964. Jim Bunny. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll see. So that's who it is. The person has already been selected. They accepted from what I understand yesterday. They will be announced officially in the morning. But like I said, I'm sure it will leak tonight. I'd be very surprised if that didn't leak out tonight. I would be very surprised if who it is didn't leak out tonight. Tim Walz, that's another con against Tim Walz. Tim Walz is known in Pennsylvania for having a lot of friends that support charter schools and school vouchers. And he openly, as governor, supported school vouchers, which we are vehemently against. Walz looked like Mr. Yeah, Howard Dean. I don't know if Walz looks like Howard Dean to me. I don't know. Walz is at the end of the baby boomers. I thought the baby boomers, I think the baby boomers did end around 64, 65. I thought it was a little later. I thought it was like 67, 68. But you're probably right. I thought Gen X started around, based on where you look, either 68 or 69. I thought that's when Gen X started. So anyway, so those are the two picks right now. The person already has accepted. The person is to be announced in the morning. Security will take care of them. TJ, you ain't got to worry. Oh, so 65 starts the Gen X. Okay. Yeah. They try. That's why we got security. That's why we have hall monitors. The hall monitors will take care of those people. I don't have to worry about that. The hall monitors will take care. Hall monitors, have y'all taken care of the Magabots? Have y'all taken care of them? Can I get a confirmation, hall monitors? I'm not looking. Let me see. If the hall monitors took care of it. I guess the hall monitors took care of it. Yep. Harold was quick with that one. Harold said we not having this. Anyway, so that's our update. Now, in another update, I told y'all after that, when we broke down the NABJ interview and Donald Trump threw out the next calling card about for his MAGA nuts about Kamala not being black. And I told y'all it would not just be the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains that would be jumping on top of that. It will be some of our people. I said that on this platform. Did I not say that it will be black people that will be saying that foolishness? Well, I got a video to show y'all. It's a little long, but we're going to watch it. Here's the video.
Well, what do you think? What do you think President Trump can do to combat this flood of misinformation? And and now he's being called a racist. just because he said, you know what, Kamala Harris, she changes her race depending. She did run a campaign that she was Indian. He said, I don't care if she's whatever heritage she is, but she does seem to flip-flop when it comes to her race. No one is denying she's African, she's black, and she's Indian, but she's the one that has kind of highlighted either or depending on whom she's speaking with.
Lydia, I'm glad you bring that up. Myself, I was like very just amazed that like we're getting now to this level. Instead of focusing on issues, it's now, is Kamala Harris black or not? I'm going to say this as a black African-American man. Kamala Harris, she's a person of color. Kamala Harris, if she gets elected as president, it's going to be great to have a person of color in the White House. But this is the thing. She is now race baiting. She is now doing blackface. She is not black. She is a Jamaican American. She is an Indian American. What she's doing is when she ran for United States Senate, she sat there and said, I was an Indian American. Now she's black all of a sudden. If you ask a lot of African American people, I'm sorry, what they're going to say is Jamaicans, they are Caribbean American. The reason why this is very, very important is because there are actually health issues associated with being African American. African American and blacks, you're more susceptible to diabetes, high blood pressure. But you have this woman who is sitting here saying that she is black just to get elected. And you know what I'm very upset of? Let's just look at the little black girl who dreams of being president of the United States in a few years. Kamala Harris is taking that title away just so she can sit here and try to win like a voting block. It's very terrible.
Oh, you gave me goosebumps. All right, Robin, real
As bothered as he is with Kamala Harris, as he calls her, the woman's name is Kamala. I'm bothered by your tape line, sir. I'm bothered that you can't go to a goddamn barbershop and get that shit straightened out on your goddamn head. Can we, before I address the fact that you said that this woman is doing blackface, which is the most insane shit I've ever heard in my goddamn life, can I tell you that I am more or equally upset at the fact that your black ass who came up here and said, oh, I'm black, I'm African American. Really? Can you find a black or African American barber that can fix your fucking tape line? That's what I need. Before you get on my fucking television screen screaming from the rooftops about how you black and you, I guess, think you speaking for the black race. We don't look like that. We get we go to the black barbers and get that shit done right. I don't know what the fuck that was, sir. I'm just saying. Now, listen, Harold, that hairline is doing the stanky leg. Listen, let me tell you, bitch, I'm wide up. Do the stanky leg. That is what his hairline is doing, bitch. Child, girl, what is going on over there? When your ass, when you are that cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, that's how you end up with a tape line like that. I knew from the moment he was on screen and his head looked like that, nothing good was going to come out of his mouth. Now, let's address the fact that that young man had the audacity to say that this woman is doing blackface. Blackface? Really? Really, sir? Oh, listen, I saw this video on today, August 5th, the day where we celebrate, as I saw on social media, Chairteenth. What is Chairteenth? I'm glad you asked. That is the day that we celebrate the boat incident down to the Alabama, where our weapon of choice, a white foldable chair, was used to dispose of people descended from the Caucasus Mountains. Shout out to today being Chairteenth. Happy Chairteenth to you all. But in the year of our Lord 2024, August 5th to be exact, in that year, this troglodyte has the nerve, hey Yana, to say that our sitting vice president of these yet to be United States of America is doing blackface? Really? Like, this is the insanity. Hey, Ravine, this is the insanity that we are dealing with right now. I told y'all on this platform last week, I said, yeah, you're going to see the white people that's out here doing all of this, saying all of this racist ass shit about her not being black. But I said, you absolutely are gonna have black people doing that. I said that, and here we are. Here the fuck we are. Like I was, and then the lady at the end. Oh, I have goosebumps. Really, really, goosebumps. Oh, I have goosebumps. Girl, girl. Uh, Side mirror. I'm not gonna even play that. That black lady at the Trump rally, the one with the bad weave in, with that dry ass badass weave. Not gonna do it. Won't do it. Not gonna even play her. Not gonna give her no airtime. But I wanted y'all to see that because as bad as that black lady was for for this motherfucker, I told y'all his hairline is doing the stanky leg. For this motherfucker to say that the woman is doing blackface, I got to see it one more time. First, we got to watch this one more time just so we can figure out what's going on with his tape line. One more time for the people in the back, because I need to figure out what's going on with his hairline.
Well, what do you think? What do you think President Trump can do to combat this like flood of misinformation? And and now he's being called a racist just because he said, you know what, Kamala Harris, she changes her race depending. She did run a campaign that she was Indian. He said, I don't care if she's whatever heritage she is, but she does seem to flip flop when it comes to her race. No one is denying she's African, she's black, and she's Indian, but she's the one that has kind of highlighted either or depending on whom she's speaking with.
Lydia, I'm glad you bring that up. Myself, I was like very just amazed that like we're getting now to this level. Instead of focusing on issues, it's now, is Kamala Harris black or not? I'm going to say this as a black African-American man. Kamala Harris, she's a person of color. Kamala Harris, if she gets elected as president, it's going to be great to have a person of color in the White House. But this is the thing. She is now race baiting. She is now doing blackface. She is not black. She is a Jamaican American. She is an Indian American. What she's doing is when she ran for United States Senate, she sat there and said I was an Indian American. Now she's black all of a sudden. If you ask a lot of African American people, I'm sorry, what they're going to say is Jamaicans, they are Caribbean American. The reason why this is very, very important is because there are actually health issues associated with being African American. African American and blacks, you're more susceptible to diabetes, high blood pressure. But you have this woman who is sitting here saying that she is black just to get elected. And you know what I'm very upset of? Let's just look let's look at the little black girl who dreams of being president of the United States in a few years. Kamala Harris is taking that title away just so she can sit here and try to win like a voting block. It's very terrible.
Oh, you gave me goosebumps. All right, Robin, real.
Hey, Angela. Hey, Carissa. Hey, everybody that came in. Listen. Oh, you give me goosebumps. Ma'am, I'm sorry. Your powers don't work on him. He be down there, ma'am, to the Republican Party's weekly sex party down to the Washington, D.C., ma'am. Ma'am, I'm sorry. All of the goosebumps that you got, it ain't gonna help you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He be down there with Lady G, down there to the sex parties with Mr. Bolden and all of them who be down to the sex party every week. I heard they get paid quite handsomely too. Anyway, I need y'all to say that woman's name right. Her name is Kamala. It's not that hard. Kamala. Child. This what y'all got going on. These are the motherfuckers who Fox News, Newsmax, and all of those other, nefarious alleged news channel be putting on their programming. I'm just saying. Oh, I know Mr. Bolden is not the only one. Oh, I know. It's a whole list of them that be down there. I ain't mad at it either. They say PRK be there too, because he live in that area. I heard they let him go down to the university when he got exposed, and so he needs some available income, and the Republican Party can pay him quite handsomely. Let me get back on topic. Now, I just needed y'all to see what was out there, because I haven't seen that clip as much as I should be. I ain't heard enough people dog walking him. I didn't even look up the man's name. I don't even know. I think they said his name. I didn't even look it up. Let me tell you that. I didn't even look him up. Xavier, you're good at this stuff. Xavier, find out who that man is, okay? Find out who he is. That was on Newsmax, Xavier. Find out who he is for me, please, because we need to know. Inquiry Minds want to know who he was. Maybe I can recommend him. A good barber. Yeah, PR can't be down there to the MAGA sex parties that they have, the Republican Party sex parties that they have down to the Washington D.C. where Lady G be at. Oh, his name is Will Pierce. Thank you, Xavier. I knew Xavier was gonna have it. I knew Xavier was gonna get it. Child, listen, Mr. Pierce. Before you come out here talking about who is and who's not black, who doing blackface, go get your fucking tape fixed. Get your tape line fixed, sir, before you come over here. Get some fucking chapstick, some Carmex, get something over there, okay? Not MAGA magnums, Miss Shorty be. Child, they be over there getting the ear, from what I understand. He's very liberal on Instagram. I don't know him. So Jeff, between you and Xavier, y'all do some reconnaissance and let us know what he got going on, because I don't know that man. Anyway, stop using scissors to cut your hair over the sink. Child, I can't even say those are scissors that he using, little baby. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. You know, we were talking about him because he ain't on nobody's radar. He's not with his heritage hair on display like that. I'm not doing this with y'all. Lips white as baby powder. Well, he comments a lot on Instagram. Oh, yeah. Go investigate for us, So Jeff. The Republican parties probably smell like eraser dust and pink cocaine. Listen, y'all know we broke down what pink cocaine was over here. I'm just saying. Hey, Cajun. Don't be calling my people skank brigades. We are the pupils around here. No fucking skank brigades. What the fuck? Child, it is a Carmex free life. Listen. That motherfucker look like Pookie off of New Jack City, where he say, "It just be calling me, man. It just be calling me." Remember Pookie? Pookie had the white ass lips. Pookie was on New Jack City with the white ass lips, talking about, "It just be calling me, man. It just be calling me." Pookie, Pookie. Child. Pookie. Child. I'm not doing this with y'all. I just needed y'all to see what was going on. This is the shit that comes across my timeline. You sent more pictures to the members only chat? Child, let me see. Shout out to the members and the members only chat. See what we got. Oh, he look rough. Oh, Xavier, that last one. Hold on. Let me put this one in the chat so y'all can see it. Let me put this one up. Hold on, y'all, because I need y'all to see what's going on here. Oh my God, he must have went and got some skin treatments or something, because the way that skin was looking before, right? Pookie Pierce. It just be calling me, man. It just be calling me. Hold on. Let me upload this real fast, y'all. Hold on for a moment. Give me just 1 second. All right, there we go. I don't need all of them. I just need this one so y'all can see. Okay, there you go right there. All right. Ciao. Y'all see that? That's from a few years back. But look at that skin. Girl. Whoo, Lord. Child. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. So you ain't never have no tape line, but you claiming to be black? Black people don't have no tape line like that. Now who the fuck raised you? Who the fuck raised you? I'm sorry. You can't tell me you was raised by black people and you walk your ass out the house with your tape line looking like that shit every goddamn day. This shit ain't new for you. That shit been looking a goddamn mess. Oh no, ma'am. Oh no, God. TJ, it looked like somebody gave him some proactive because his skin do look a little better on the video than it do right here. But sir, who raised you? Because you ain't come out no black household. You making these announcements that you black and African American. Sir, I can't tell by looking at you. A mess. Just a goddamn mess. This is what y'all got going on in the year of our Lord 2024. You got the nerve to be talking about our vice president, soon to be 47th president of the United States. And look at the way you do. Because my vice president hair is always laid for the gods. That is the sign of a true black woman. You never catch her slipping. Every time she walk out the house, her pantsuit is sickening. Her hair is laid and curls are bouncing. Mama have her pinky in the air saying this is a serious matter. Shout out to the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Just a mess. Just a goddamn mess. Lord. I had to show that to y'all. Xavier put a couple pictures of the members only chat, but that's the one I wanted to show y'all. That's the one I thought y'all needed to see. That one is a goddamn mess. I said, oh. Jesus. Pookie. It just be calling me, man. It just be calling me. Child. Now his hairline looking like coochie hair. You know what? We're supposed to take what you say as sound commentary. A person with a hairline like that is not someone who we're taking advice from. Certainly not on who we should pick to be the next president of these yet to be United States of America. Harold Cam says, what coochies you been looking at? Okay. Cam's Harold ain't seen a cooch in a long time, if ever. Listen, I love Harold down, but Cam, I'm just saying, Harold ain't seeing a whole lot of cooch over there. Anyway, listen. So we got to move on. We have a whole ass dossier. We're not going to spend all our time on you and your fuck shit. We got to move on. Listen, today is the 5th. Tomorrow is the 6th. I know y'all finna read this young man down for the rest of this live. I ain't even worried about it. Y'all gonna read this young man down for the rest of this live. That's oh dear God. Sir, I can't be held responsible for what these people do and say to you because you chose to call to say that Kamala Harris had on blackface. Oh, you say the ladies be fighting over here? Okay, well, go ahead. Hey D, what's going on? So listen, today is the 5th. Tomorrow is the 6th. Tomorrow is the primary in the great state of Missouri. We need everybody who's anybody that's registered to vote in Missouri to go. I need you to vote. We need you to go out there. We need you to vote for our dear sister, Cori Bush. The AIPAC, the Jewish arm of the Democratic Party, the establishment Dems are trying to oust her just like they did Jamal Bowman. And we need y'all out here fighting for Cori Bush. The same way y'all out here fighting for Kamala Harris, we need y'all to fight for Cori Bush. She is out here doing the Lord's work every day over there in Congress, windmilling for us. So we need to be out there windmilling for her. I got a couple groups that I'm a part of, political groups and things like that. That we'll be making phone calls tonight and for her in the great state of Missouri. So I'm going to volunteer some of my time to do that. And we'll be stomping and making phone calls and stuff for her in Missouri. But we are putting it out. They have putting it out that they have spent millions of dollars. AIPAC has spent millions of dollars to try and oust her. Now the whole thing is the fact that she won't call Hamas a terrorist group. And she came right out and said, I'm not going to call them a terrorist group for the same reason that they called us when we were protesting in Ferguson. They called black people a terrorist group. So if they could call us a terrorist group and we weren't terrorists, how do I know that Hamas is a terrorist group? She came right on out. I ain't mad at it. Speak truth to power. Do I know right now she's behind in the polls right now? So Jeff. Right now, the polls that I saw today, she was, depending on the poll, I saw the closest poll, I saw her down by 4 points. I saw another poll where she was down by almost double digits. So, like I said, she's running against Matthew Bell, who is black. He's a black man, but he's a part of the establishment Democratic Party and being backed by AIPAC and millions of dollars that AIPAC is AIPAC has millions of dollars that they are putting into this race. I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid. They've spent well over $9 million in this race, and this is in Missouri. So $9 million goes much further in Missouri than the $25 million went in New York, where they ousted Jamal Bowman. They spent, I think, $23 million, in New York to oust Jamal Bowman, and they spent over $9 million in St. Louis, Missouri area, and that goes much further in St. Louis, Missouri than $23 million goes in New York. So they're spending a lot of money. So and my fear is because Hakeem Jeffries and all these establishment Dems want nothing to do with the squad, want nothing to do with anybody that speaks truth to power about the genocide going on over there. They're just going to let it be and say, yeah, get rid of all of them. And like I said, not knowing that the base of the the base of the Democratic Party is moving more toward the left, not toward the center. So you would think that they would be trying to get more progressives in Congress. So we are still hopeful that her constituency will get out and vote for her and move the needle for her. Right, KJ, them today, us tomorrow. We need more progressives in Congress. We absolutely do. So that's the latest update. Let's get out the vote tomorrow. If anything happens to her, y'all know I'm gonna come on here and lose my fucking mind. Well, it's official. This happened on August 1st. Now, we briefly talked about this law in the great state of Louisiana. That is the Louisiana capital. What law are you talking about, L. Teddy? I'm glad you asked. So this became effective last Thursday on August 4th. But at this point, there's a new law and we talked about this about 2 months ago, but now it's officially law. There's a new law in the great state of Louisiana that allows a judge to order a person found guilty of certain sex crimes against minors to undergo surgical castration, meaning the surgical removal of the testicles or ovaries to stop the production of hormone. I'm sorry. That's what surgical castration is. It's the surgical removal of testicles or ovaries to stop the production of sex hormones. However, the law that's written in Louisiana only speaks to the surgical removal of testicles. A judge can order the surgical castration of a man's testicles if in such cases where he has committed a sexual crime on a minor under the age of 13. Under the age of 13. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, they already have a law that's already on the books where they can have chemical castration done on someone found guilty of such laws involving other forms of sexual abuse of minors. Here's the problem. Louisiana is top 5 in the country of states where people are falsely convicted. They're in top 5 in the United States of states that have frivolous convictions. People are falsely convicted, wrongfully convicted. And now you're telling me that you could have someone have their testicles surgically removed. Now, mind you, newsflash, people, you do realize that in the last 10 to 15 years, there have been more women convicted and charged with child molestation and pedophilia than there have men. I'm just gonna put this out there. This is what y'all got going on in this country. We're not talking about over across the globe in some third world country. We're talking about right here in these yet to be United States of America. Now, what I'm saying, and as horrible and as heinous of a crime as that is, and I agree, that is as heinous as it gets. However, I don't know that this is the right way to go, specifically when you're only targeting one segment of the population of people convicted of said crimes. That's one. Two, if it turns out that you were wrong and this person is wrongfully convicted, what do you do then? How do you make that right? Because I'm sure by the time it gets proven that they were wrongfully convicted, the testicles are long gone. Cajun, America is always sitting on this high horse and is just as bad, if not worse, than many of these countries who they look down upon. This is what we got going on. And this is not something up and coming. It is officially the law of the land in the great state of Louisiana. Right now. Became law on August 1st. Now, there are some organizations that are suing the great state of not Indiana, the great state of Louisiana about this bill. We'll see how that goes. It has to go up the chain. But here's the thing. Louisiana is a part of the Fifth Circuit. Louisiana is in the Fifth Circuit. And the Fifth Circuit is where democracy goes to die. The Fifth Circuit of Appeals in these yet to be United States of America is where democracy goes to die. I'm just saying. I don't feel good about this, y'all, because y'all know how this goes. How this goes is the Fifth Circuit is Texas, Louisiana, I think Mississippi, and I want to say Oklahoma is a part of it. I could be wrong about Oklahoma, but I think Oklahoma is in there. But I know Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi are in the Fifth Circuit, and that is where democracy goes to die. And so much so that anytime something happens in legally, they try to get it to the Fifth Circuit because they know that if it gets to the Fifth Circuit, and it's one of those draconian Republican laws, it's going to make it through. It's going to make it through. And then if you appeal from the Fifth Circuit, where does it go after that? It goes to the Supreme Court, where they're just waiting. Exactly, Cajun. You will see black people and brown people disproportionately charged with this. When, let's be clear, y'all see the shit like I do. Now let's just call it what it is. When we look at a lot of these cases with underage sex with minors, more often than not, what color are they? Let's be clear. More often, I'm not saying never, but more often than not, these people are descended from the Caucasus Mountains. However, when we talk about now people getting charged and possibly convicted, you'll start to see more and more people that look like us. Uncle Jay, what you missed is now in the great state of Louisiana, there is a law that went into effect on August 1st that if you're convicted of sex crimes with a minor 13 years of age or under, a judge can have you sentenced to surgical castration of your testicles. In a state that's top 5 for wrongful convictions. I'm just reporting the news, y'all. If y'all live in the great state of Louisiana, just pray. Y'all, this story right here, some of y'all may have seen this video. This is a something that's making its rounds on social media. I want to show you the video. This is out of Chicago. I want y'all to see that this is coming out of the great state of Chicago. Let me show y'all this. All right. All right. It's a little long, but watch this.
That now has a police officer under investigation.
The man who was arrested is charged with felonies and misdemeanors in the case. Our Tara Molina is always investigating and brought the video to a police use of force expert. She joins us now with the latest. Tara, we know the Civilian Office of Police Accountability is investigating.
That's right, Jim and Marie. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability is investigating right now, and so is the Chicago Police Department. They're investigating this internally, both the incident and the officer you will see using force in this arrest. The use of force expert I talked to said it's very important to keep in mind, while it's clear what we see in this video, it's only 30 seconds. We want to warn you, it could be hard to watch.
Take a look at your screen. It happens fast. The video isn't long. You see a man now identified as 32-year-old Lorenzo Williams on the ground, surrounded by police. 3 physically trying to detain him. One officer holding him by his hair. Another hits him with what appears to be a police radio, then says, before pulling out his weapon and holding it to Williams' head. The video ends.
Yes, we're aware of the video. We're aware of the video. It's not a complete video. It doesn't show everything. What I can tell you right now is that that ended in an arrest, gun recovery at the time. But what I will tell you is the Chicago Police Department, myself, we take these things seriously. There's an internal investigation that has been launched the night that this occurred.
The lawsuit filed today by Williams and his attorney alleges illegal use of force, claiming Williams was peacefully walking on public property when he was approached by officers. A police report says otherwise. Officers say they made an investigative stop after a pod camera showed Williams with a gun in his waistband. He tried to run, was taken down, and tried to grab the gun. Williams faced a judge yesterday who ordered he be detained until his next court date. He's currently charged with 4 felonies and 2 misdemeanors in this case, including unlawful use of a weapon by a felon and aggravated assault of a police officer.
It's important to remember that just having video and seeing something that looks appalling to us, and it does look appalling.
I don't need to see no more. I don't need to see no more. I don't need to see no more. Y'all got the gist of what's going on here, right? Y'all see what's going on here, right? I don't need to spell this out for y'all, right? I don't need to spell this out for you. Man wasn't doing nothing to nobody. Wasn't doing. Walking down the street, they said, "Oh, we see a gun in your waistband," and then we end up with this. The man, did you see the one officer, the same officer that once they had him, that after they had slung him down to the ground by his dreads and had him pinned down, the one man who was punching him in the face while he was pinned down is the same man who pulled out his gun and said, "I'm going to fucking shoot you." That's what we got going on here. I'm just saying. But what I need that police chief, or I think they're called the superintendent of police in Chicago. I forgot what it's called in Chicago. I know it's not called police chief. I think it's called, I forgot what it's called in Chicago. But anyway, the head man in charge of police down to the Chicago. What I need you to do, sir, is I don't need you to try to chase it by saying, "Oh, there's a lot that you don't see in this video." I don't give a damn what we don't see in this goddamn video. I don't give a damn what we don't see in the video. What we see in the video is enough for somebody to have charges put on them. Now, this is the great city of Chicago in the great state of Illinois. As blue as you get. Let's see a whole black chief of police or whatever they call it. I think it's called police superintendent. I forgot what that's going to bother me. What is the name of the Chicago police chief? Superintendent of police. Thank you. The superintendent of police. I knew I was right. So you got a whole black superintendent of police, and you got a black mayor, both black men, and one of the bluest of blue states, and yet and still we still got the same thing going on. Hey, Morgan, y'all see what's happening? Have y'all seen this in y'all social media feeds? I know a lot of this stuff starts making its rounds. Have y'all seen this yet in y'all those people who follow stuff like this in y'all social media feeds? Because I had not seen it, and when I saw it for the first time today, it disturbed me. The victim's name is Lorenzo Williams. Thank God he is not dead. Okay, his name is Lorenzo Williams, and thank God he is not dead. He's still in jail, but he's not dead. It's your first time seeing the Diamond Pearl Gym? Okay. A mess. It's just a goddamn mess. Just a goddamn mess. But I wanted to bring that to y'all. I will be monitoring the situation to see to let y'all know what's going on in this case, because we need to know. Just like the red rural areas, they need to be held accountable. The blue areas need to be held accountable too. A whole ass black man as a mayor, and a whole ass black man as superintendent of police. What the fuck are y'all gonna do about it? I'm sorry if you were triggered. I apologize, TJ. I'll tell you put me onto a lot. I'm glad that a lot of y'all do kind of see this stuff over here, but we gotta continue to let this stuff be seen and heard. Otherwise, these people will act like it don't happen, and you got whole families that are traumatized. They act like, oh, these things are few and far between. This is not a rampant problem in America. Yes, the fuck it is, because that's what the people say on the other side. They say it's not a big problem. They say that policing isn't a problem here in America. That is not a pervasive issue within law enforcement. And every time we look up, it's more and more situations. What happens is they don't want, that's why you see more and more municipalities, more and more states are passing laws making it illegal for you to videotape a police officer when they are arresting somebody. More and more states and municipalities have laws on the books right now making it illegal, where you can have your ass thrown to the ground and arrested just for videotaping them committing a crime, because they don't want any accountability for these people. Thank God we got people out there willing to say, nope, I'm going to videotape it. Sure am. I'll monitor this situation for y'all. So, oh, y'all gonna love this one. Oh, y'all gonna love this one. Sit down. Y'all got y'all popcorn? Y'all got y'all popcorn? Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all gonna love this one. Oh, y'all gonna love this one. Now, that fat ass bastard, the black man, the Uncle Ruckus, that man that you see right there is Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson of the great state of North Carolina. So, we have chronicled Mr. Robinson over and over and over again. He's the same one that said that trans people needed to be killed. He's the same one that said black people owe white slave descendants of white slave owners reparations. Oh yes, he said that. He said that should he become governor, he would have transgender people arrested. Oh, he's all over the guy. He's as much of a MAGA nut as you could probably imagine. He is just way far off the right ring. Well, you should know that he's on record also saying that abortion will be banned in his state regardless, for every occasion. He says there is not a reason or a situation where a pregnancy should be terminated. He said abortion in this country is not about protecting the lives of mothers. It is about killing the child because you weren't responsible enough to keep your skirt down End of quote. He referred to abortion as murder and genocide. And he also later said that if he had a willing state legislature, he would sign a law banning abortion for any reason. Well, the fuck well. Guess what we got here? Let me read this to you. Mark Robinson, the North Carolina Republican, has come out with a new campaign advertisement in his bid for governor, in which he and his wife open up about their decision to have an abortion decades ago. The commercial comes shortly after Robinson's recent promise at a campaign rally to completely ban abortion in the state of North Carolina. In the campaign ad, he says, quote, 30 years ago, my wife and I made a very difficult decision. We had an abortion. End of quote. He then voices support for the current abortion restrictions in North Carolina, which prohibit the procedure after 12 weeks of pregnancy, with exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. But then just last week, you were saying there's no reason for anybody to have an abortion. This is what we got going on. This is what we got going on. The man got whole campaign ads how him and his wife had to have an abortion, but you're on record saying that nobody should ever be allowed to have an abortion for any reason at all. This is what we got going on. The same people who are out here talking about no abortions anywhere are the same people dipping spoons in the sugar bowls all across the fruited plains, getting all types of wayward women pregnant and paying for them to have an abortion. Current Lieutenant Governor of the great state of North Carolina, who's now running to be governor of the great state of North Carolina. I mean, that's what we got going on. This is what we got going on. Child, I can't wait for the situation to come down when the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains have to remind this bastard that he does not indeed have a mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy. I can't wait, because you know this is how the shit goes down every time. You got these token black people that they have that are, and you notice how the token black people are way even more conservative and more fucking batshit crazy than even the most conservative white person, as if they're trying to establish, who they are within, that faction of the Republican Party. Like, they're way more radical, right? And then something shakes down, and then all of a sudden, the white people distance themselves from you and remind your black ass that you ain't nothing but a nigger to them, and that you do not indeed have a mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy. That's what's going to happen. You ain't shit. And don't come over here looking to the black community. You and your wife can have all of the tears in y'all eyes that y'all want. I don't give a damn. Go to fucking hell. I'm just saying. All right, Cams. I'm going to call you later, Cams. We got to talk. Listen, I don't care about her having no tears in her eyes. What about all of the other women around the state that need to have surgical, control of their reproductive, situations, to have tears in their eyes that your husband is saying, fuck them and fuck their lives? What about people who are victims of rape and incest that your husband says he don't give a damn about? Yeah, you crying for them? What about members of the LGBTQ plus community who who your husband has vilified and called maggots and flies? Girl, a mess. Sir, I ain't gonna even tell you to go with God. Go to hell. That's all for our sugar spike moments for today. Let's talk about Hurricane Debby, who's now Tropical Storm Debby. Tropical Storm Debby made landfall early this morning in the wee hours of the morning. It crossed in the Big Bend area of Florida as a Category 1 hurricane. However, it is stalling, and it is projected to be over the northeast part of Florida, the southeast part of Georgia, and parts of South Carolina for the next 3 or 4 days. They're saying it could be Saturday before this thing moves up from that area. They're saying at least from now, at least until Friday night, Saturday, this storm is supposed to sit there and churn and have catastrophic Armageddon-like rain. We're talking areas that could get 30 inches of rain. Now, South Carolina, and correct me if I'm wrong, Monk Chip, I think down in Charleston area, I think parts of Charleston is below sea level. Parts of Charleston, if I'm not mistaken, is below sea level. And you're talking about dumping almost 3 feet of rain, 2.5 feet of rain on top of that. That's life altering and catastrophic. I mean, that's some type of Armageddon type rain. What's going to end up happening is, and what makes it so dangerous is, according to meteorologists, it's going to cross through Florida, right? And go back over the Atlantic. And so the center of the storm is going to sit just off the coast where it can feed off of the water, the warm waters on the coast, but still have a good portion of it on land. So it's just sitting there spinning day after day, dumping rain, just a deluge of rain on that area. If you got people in northeast Florida, southeast Georgia, or in South Carolina, parts of the eastern parts of South Carolina, reach out to them. Make sure you give your people up there a call. You check on them multiple times in a day just to make sure they are good, because it's not looking good for them. We are certainly praying for them that they get through this without the hurt, harm, or loss of a loved one. But certainly check on your people in those areas. We're talking Jacksonville area, Brunswick, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, all of those, Myrtle Beach, all of those areas, anything in that I-95 corridor, anything I would say north of Daytona Beach, going that I-95 corridor all the way up through South Carolina, you need to check on those people. Going north from Daytona Beach all the way up through South Carolina, you need to check on those people and make sure over the next couple of days that they still good. They're probably going to lose power, because even they're saying it's already down to a tropical storm. They say it could be down to a tropical depression or a tropical storm when they get there. But even if you have something that's only 35 miles an hour, although 35 miles an hour is not that strong, if you have sustained 35 miles an hour for days at a time. There's only so long the power lines and trees are gonna hold up at wind coming at them at that rate of speed for that many days. So you're talking, and there's a lot of foliage and tree coverage in those areas. You're talking, if you've ever driven through these areas of the country, there's a lot of trees, a lot of foliage, and you're talking a lot of debris and damage in that area. So I talked to a friend of mine in Jacksonville. They lost, they had a tree fall in their house as early as this morning. So, and that was this morning when it was still over, crossing over in the Big Bend area. Jacksonville already had a lot of damage that was happening there. And of course, there is tornadoes. There's a possibility of tornadoes and so forth within those bands. So keep the people in your prayers. We are here for you. We are praying with you and for you. And we hope that everybody gets through the storm safely. Y'all be safe in those areas. My top story of the day, Akili McDowell has been arrested. Who is Akili McDowell? I'm glad you asked. Now, some of y'all been rocking with me since going back. David Makes Man season 1, I believe, was in 2019 before the pandemic. Season 2 came on during the pandemic. David Makes Man is probably, my reviews for that show and Lovecraft Country are probably the two best shows that I have reviewed on this platform. And I was reviewing the season 1 of David Makes Man when nobody was reviewing it. And back then, if you looked up David Makes Man, my reviews came up. Phenomenal show. Akili McDowell played David, who was the star of the show. I actually was slated to interview him, but we just couldn't get our schedules to align. I interviewed the actor Nate McIntyre that played Saren. I interviewed Kwame Patterson, who played adult David in season 2. I interviewed Arlen Escarpeta, who played adult JG in season 2 as well. And I was slated to interview Akili, but our schedules just would not align. At one point we had a date, and I was about to put it out, and he said I can't do it. He had a conflict. He also played on Billions. I believe Billions is on HBO. I think Billions is, or is it on Showtime? He's on HBO or Showtime, but he was on that. And had a budding career, was about to do great things with his career. Well, he's been arrested for murder. Which is almost heartbreaking to hear. But he's been arrested in Houston area for and he's been charged with murder and theft, and he was arrested on Thursday, and it's just coming out today. It was announced on Saturday. The Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez announced the arrest on Saturday, but he was arrested actually on Thursday. He's only 21 years old. But this is dealing with a man, the victim by the name of Cesar Peralta, who is a 20-year-old, and there's a situation where he was pronounced dead. There was a situation in a parking lot and something like that down in Houston. There's very little information on it right now. Maybe Tracy C, who's one of my executive producers, maybe she can get me that though, if there's any court proceedings or any court filings. Tracy can usually get me some court filings. Tracy, I need you to do that for me, because there's very little information. There's not even information saying that he's the one who shot and killed the victim. We don't know if he shot and killed the victim, if it was somebody he was with, if he's an accomplice. We don't know anything. There's very little information that they gave us on this, but they said sheriff's deputies responded to a scene and found a man who had sustained gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead on the scene. And that was 20-year-old Cesar Peralta. So more information is to come. Certainly, I'll be monitoring this situation. But yeah, Akili McDowell has been arrested. Now this is gonna make me go back and watch my David Makes Man, and watch all of my reviews. Those were some good reviews. I remember me Really Be and Abby used to do panels, and it used to trip me out how Really Be will always call what's the guy who had the red dreads. Really Be would call him Kool-Aid Dreadlocks. She would call him Kool-Aid Dreadlock, and it was the funniest thing in the world. I'm telling you, if you want to see probably arguably one of the best scenes, some of the best scenes from David Makes Man, episode 1 with the writings on the wall, when him and Sarah didn't speak to each other, but they talked to each other telepathically, and there was the writings on the wall. Awesome scene. The scene, I believe it was episode 8, where he lost it and went off on old boy when there was this epic scene where he got mad and he went off on Kool-Aid Dreadlocks. I can't think of the man's name right now. And had this scene where the emoting that he did in that scene was just like, oh my God. It's a powerful series. If you haven't seen it, go binge watch it. Trust me, you'll love it. But we got to go on, Akili. We love you down, but we got to go on. So in our Olympics update, Simone Biles had the opportunity to take home 2 more golds today in the women's individual balance beam and the women's individual floor exercises. She did not even medal in the balance beam. Matter of fact, she fell off the balance beam, and there was one point, I think she was, there's speculation that she might have been shushing the crowd. However, her strongest event is floor. And she lost, well, she won the silver, but she lost to Rebecca Andrade of Brazil on floor. And the picture you see there is Simone and Jordan Childs saying that Rebecca is the new queen, that she's the new queen of gymnastics. But Rebecca Andrade actually beat Simone Biles on floor, and you would have never thought that anybody would have beat Simone Biles on floor. Matter of fact, Simone Biles has several moves or maneuvers named after her on floor. So I think she has like 3 or 4 on floor alone that are named after her. So raining, thank you. It was raining, Harold. It was raining. But yeah, so that's the update on her. Now, I'm supposed to come here and tell y'all how happy we are for Noah Lyles, who won the 100-meter dash. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson, she won the silver on Saturday night. She won the silver on Saturday night to Julian Alfred of St. Lucia. And got blew out of the water. I ain't gonna even lie. Sha'Carri got blew out of the water. She got a bad start, and Julian Alfred blew her out of the water. Now, Julian Alfred is famous for her 60-meter dash. I think she's still the world champion in indoor 60-meter. So she always gets out to a good start, and she blew Sha'Carri out of the water. Like, it wasn't close. Like, it didn't even look like they was in the same race almost. But in the men's final, it was very close. Noah Lyles actually said that he went up to Kashane Thompson of Jamaica and said he thought told him he thought he had it, because it was just that close, and Noah Lyles ended up winning by 5/1000ths of a second. 5/1000ths of a second. So yeah. Now we should be over here celebrating Noah Lyles, talking about how he could potentially be the first American man since Carl Lewis way back in 1988 to win 100-meter and 200-meter final, because he's better in the 200 than he is in the 100. We're supposed to be talking about that, but that's not what you black people want me to talk about. That's not what we got going on with Noah Lyles. What we got going on with Noah Lyles, ladies and gentlemen, instead of how good he is on the field, is this. That's what we got going on with Noah Lyles. So instead of us talking about the fact that this young man is now not only world champion, but is also Olympic champion in the 100-meter, we got to talk about goddamn fingernails, right? So after he won, Dwayne Wade tweeted this. Dwayne Wade tweeted out the Olympics, tweeted out Noah Lyles is the men's 100-meter Olympic champion. Dwayne Wade tweets out, and he got his nails painted. Say something. Well, Dwayne, you asked them to say something, and they did. And Twitter lost its goddamn minds and decided to go in on Dwayne Wade and the fact that he paints his nails. Now, Noah Lyles had all 5 of his nails painted. They would look real good and sickening too. Go look them up. They look real good and real sickening. Like he had designs and shit in his nails. It wasn't even just no one, solid coat. He had designs and shit in his nails. But the people lost their minds. They didn't even lose their minds on Noah Lyles. They lost their minds on Dwayne Wade. I wish y'all would leave my boo thing alone, because once he, gets a grip on life and leaves Gabby, he'll be over here with me, and I'll make sure he all right. Gabby don't know he might be over here tonight, and I'll make sure he all right. But y'all lost y'all minds, because the only thing that the people want to talk about is the fact that about men not the fact that men shouldn't have their nails painted. This is what y'all got going on. Like, really, this is what we're doing? This is what we're doing. I know he married. I said when he leave her. I didn't say wow. I said when he leave her. I mean, he's still gonna be over here tonight. But I said when he leave her. But he's still gonna be over here tonight. I'm just saying. Listen, Morgan, I'm with you. Why these people care so much what these people got going on? I mean, you got the people talking about, this is a deleterious image for young black boys. What does this do to, what does this say to black boys out there? This is a part of the gay agenda. It's a part of the effemination of black men and the emasculization of black men in our society. Like, their whole think tanks and shit out there, all because a bitch wanted to get their goddamn nails painted. Y'all got too much to do. too much to goddamn. Y'all got too much time on y'all hands. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, Harold, quiet as it's kept, I want him to as well, because I don't want us to live in secret after he leaves Gabby. I don't want us to have to live in the dark and in secret. I would like him to do that as well, so we can live out loud and in public. And we ain't got to hide what we doing. Just saying. I mean, when we finally decide to, and when he leaves Gabby, and we finally decide to, you know, make ourselves public, then he'll come out then. Don't be rushing him. Girl. You said he wanted attention, L Love. Now I'm with you, L Love, because Dwayne, you didn't have to tweet that. Talk about say something, and the people actually said something. They did. Girl. Anyway, I don't even have that much commentary on this because it's not worth my time and energy. Not worth my time or energy. Go with God. One of my hall monitors or somebody in the members only chat, can y'all go over in the members only chat and tag Tracy C and tell Tracy C I need the court documents on this Akili McDowell situation? Because one of y'all put that in the members only chat for me, please. Thank you. Oh God, why do I have to talk about this man? I don't even be cared about this man. Y'all like this man. I don't care about him and his little dick self. Anyway, T.I. was arrested at the airport in the case of mistaken identity last night. At Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, he was arrested. A warrant had been issued for another man named Clifford Harris. Now we know T.I.'s real name is Clifford Harris. The man Clifford Harris was wanted in Baltimore. The suspect, the other Clifford Harris, was wanted for alleged involvement in violent behavior toward a woman, stalking, and possibly involving a gun. So he was taken from the airport to Clayton County Jail. Since the warrant was issued out of state, the arrest triggered an automatic extradition hearing. And according to T.I.'s attorneys, he got on the phone with Clayton County Sheriff's Office. The attorney did, and had T.I. released within 2 hours of the arrest. And after the judge reviewed the case, the extradition order was dismissed. I don't care, because y'all ain't do right when they had a whole sex ring and damn near sex trafficking going on, and y'all dismissed that case. But you know, T.I. is very well connected in Atlanta area, so you know they say he can get away with anything he want down to the Atlanta. He's very well connected with the governor's, with the mayor's office and stuff like that. So I guess that's how he beat them charges, you know, with that whole sex ring and sex trafficking he had going on. A mess. I had this type of time. Sir, go with God. Oh God. I keep waiting for it to get better. I keep waiting. I keep waiting for it to get better. And it just doesn't. Actually, this is some good news. Listen. We could be without the likes of this troglodyte for up to 8 years. Listen, we got our fingers crossed. We got whole shrines being built to pray to whatever deity we so choose to pray to, or that we observe, hoping that they will see it for us and rule in our favor. Now, she could get up to 8 years in the slam. She could get up to 8 years up the creek without a paddle. And we won't have to deal with this woman. So she's facing 2 charges. She had a warrant for alleged assault with a deadly weapon. And when that warrant is what got her locked up. Now, hold on, y'all. Okay. So there are two charges that could according to court documents, there are two charges that could have her locked up for up to 8 years. She's facing charges for 1, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, and 2, possession of a controlled dangerous substance, each of which carries a 4-year sentence or 8 years combined. Now, of course, that has to go to court, be adjudicated, a jury find her, or if it's a judge or jury, she be found guilty, and then in sentencing, they give her the full 4 years for each count. We can only hope, but y'all can y'all can give us 3 or 4 years. I'm just saying, give us 3 to 4 years. Give that baby a fighting chance for some normalcy. Okay, let's do 5. Maybe by that time the baby will be in school. Maybe that baby will have a fighting chance to be a normal, productive member of society. Please, for the sake of the goddamn child, please, Lord, just don't understand. God. Morgan, you say you'll take the full 8. How much y'all think she need? I'm just saying. But my question is, what about the case of her busting James Wright Chanel in the goddamn mouth? Hopefully we can get some years for that too. We trying to take anything we can get. We want it all, okay? We want it all. Whatever we can get. Exactly, TJ. She is a fucking menace to society. Lord. Jesus. God. I told y'all, when she pushed that child out, fucking Child Protective Services were supposed to be waiting on the other side of the delivery room. Soon as they snipped that umbilical cord, they were supposed to snatch that child up and take that child on to freedom. They should have been like Harriet Tubman with a shotgun in one hand and the baby in the other hand, getting that baby off to freedom. Freedom. Like they should have been like Harriet Tubman, taking that baby away to fucking freedom. Lord. Help us, Father. So she needs to stay locked up for about 5 or 6 years to give that baby any chance at normalcy. Because if they let her out too early and they give that baby back to this woman right here, oh God help us all. God save the child. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I mean, that was one of the biggest lies that Whitney Houston told. Well, no. Let me not do that to Whitney Houston. When Whitney Houston sang, I believe the children are our future, teach them well and let them lead the way, I was a child at that time. I was a very small child at that time, but I was still a child. So she was talking about me, and I am the future. Now, Whitney can't, you notice Whitney stopped singing that song. Whitney ain't sing that song after like The Bodyguard. You never really heard Whitney Houston sing that no more, because I think Whitney knew anything born after about 93, 94, it's no help. It's no reason in saying, I believe them goddamn children are our future. Not them rugrats. Not some of them Satan spawns ascended from the 8th and 9th level of hell. And that would include a troglodyte like this. She ain't what Whitney Houston was singing about. I'm just saying. What year the greatest love of all came out? I think that came out like 85. Oh, I think I was in like kindergarten or something like that. Yeah. Jesus. You made the cutoff, Uncle Jay. Okay. Nahel and Xavier's classmate. She a Virgo, TJ. Oh. Mm. Mm. I need that baby to go into a loving home where he can be tended to. Yes. It came out in 83, Angela. Oh, geez. I thought Whitney Houston's first album was 85. That was the Pink album. That Pink album 185 with the orangish pink cover where she had the bald head. The bald head Whitney album. That wasn't 85. Oh. I thought the bald head Whitney album was 85. I know the second album was 87. That I know. No, the Whitney album was the second album. The first album was the Whitney Houston album. The second album was the Whitney album. The second album was the Blue album where she had that curly weave. That's the Whitney album. You're right, Diamond Pearl Jim. George Benson did first sing the song. He wrote the song and sang it in 1977. I wasn't even born then. However, when Whitney Houston sang it, I thought it was 85. She laid on that album cover, the bald head album cover. Mama was sickening with the bald head. I love a pretty woman with a bald head. Ooh, child. A woman that can wear a good shortcut or a bald head and still be sickening. Yes, ma'am. Like my girl, Miss Tanya. Miss Tanya got a shortcut and her shit is sickening, honey. Miss Tanya had be laid, honey. Child, y'all can't come for my girl Tanya. Y'all can't come for my girl. That is my girl. That's my hoe. I love Tanya. Whitney was sickening with that shortcut, with the short haircut. Mm-hmm. Y'all see let me put Tanya up so y'all can see my girl because she's sickening. Sickening. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Child. Oh, so it was. I knew I wasn't wrong. I thought it was like 85 or something like that. In 1985, I was 6. So, yeah. She would talk about me. You danced ballet in 1978 to Greatest Love of All. It was the George Benson version. Okay. Well, the point is, Whitney wasn't talking about Krishan Rock. Just saying. It was released February 14th. Okay, come on. Valentine's Day, 1985. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, in our last story today, well, I feel like thought I heard something. I'm in my house by myself. Thought I heard something. I know the door is locked. Anyway, in our last story of the day, hold on, y'all. Let me just go check. Hold on. Heard something. Hold out. All right, I'm back. Had to go check. That was the neighbors slamming doors, yelling and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't leave my doors open for random trade. Trade don't come over here. We don't do that. We go in dark alleys and in parks and shit, bathrooms and shit. Anyway, no, I'm lying. Anyway, so this story first went viral of this young man. He is the Olympic pole vaulter who lost one of his attempts because his dick got in the way and his dick stopped him. His name is Anthony Amirati, and his dick stopped him. Clipped the pole on pole vault and stopped him from making that attempt. He ended up finishing 12th in his event. Well, he may not have been successful in pole vault, but he can use his flesh pole for something else, because there's a letter from popular porn website Cam Soda where they're extending him an offer to do some content on their website. I'm just saying. They're offering him $250,000 to show his meat on their website. Portions of the offer sheet says, quote, as a lover of crotch-centric activities, we'd love to offer you up to $250,000 in exchange for a 60-minute webcam show in which you show off your goods, minus the crossbar, of course. End of quote. I mean, it's a lot of meat going on in these Olympics. Not the meat I'm looking for. Every time we see some goddamn meat in these Olympics, it's from somebody descended from the Caucasus Mountains. Can we get some meat from some people who we want to see? Like, could we get meat from the people who ran in the 100-meter final? Because they had some people. That Kashane Thompson from Jamaica. That's a big, strapping young man. Dear God. It's some people who we might want to see some meat going on. Fred Richard over there in gymnastics, we might want to see what he got going on. You got the men's basketball team over there. Well, a boatload of them. We want to know what's going on. I'm just saying. It's a whole lot of people who we want to see. And every time we reported the story last week of the diver, the guy that was competing in diving, when his dick was hard the whole time he diving in the goddamn pool. And people was losing their mind off of that. Right. What about the guy from Germany? You saw the little 400, I think 400 hurdles or 400 meters. From Germany, that fine ass piece of work. Dear God. It's a whole lot of people who meet we want to see, but the people whose meet we keep seeing ain't the ones we want to see. I'm just saying. I ain't never even heard of Cam Soda. Where's Xavier? Xavier. I never heard of Cam Soda. I expect you, Xavier. Where's Xavier? Because he's my porn aficionado. So I never heard of this site. Is this like Chatterbait or something? Is this one of them sites like Chatterbait or something? Because I never heard of Cam Soda. Let me see what that look like. Hold on for a moment. Let me look here. Cam Soda. Yes, I'm over 18. Oh, it look like Chatterbait. That's what it is. No, I don't want to see females. Yeah, this is like Chatterbait. Gotcha. Yep. Okay, that's what it is. It's like Chatterbait. Child. Running with the Meat new channel. Somebody had told me last week when we did Manic Monday that I should do a segment or do palate cleanses with all not track, but all Olympics athletes next time we do palate cleansers. Let's see what I can do. Oh, like Cam 4. Okay. Anyway, sir, you and your poll, go with God. We have nothing for you. Listen, that's our show for today, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Now, I know Really B went live before me. Is she going live again? I'm just asking. Can anybody tell me? Let me check and look and see if Really B going live again. If you enjoyed yourself today, please put a shondo in the chat if you enjoyed yourself today, and consider pressing the subscribe. Well, don't consider pressing the like button. Press the goddamn like button. However, you may consider pressing the subscribe button and subscribing to the channel. You could become a member, and you'll be added to the members only chat where insanity ensues. And if you really feel so inclined, you certainly can contribute to the platform by sending a Cash App, and you can find that scrolling at the bottom. And help, contribute to the snack fund. I ain't have no snacks today, y'all. I need some snack. I can't be spiking out like this and I have no snacks. God. Anyway, y'all, I enjoyed y'all as always. Okay. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. For all my people in the areas that are being affected by Hurricane Tropical Storm Debby, we are praying for you. We're praying with you and for you. Y'all be safe out there. Everybody else that's caught in these heat waves and these heat domes, y'all be safe as well. Until tomorrow, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.